So welcome to all of you in video based training. In my previous video I have explained you about the switch. Okay, so what is the main function of switch and how it work, what are the different features of a switch, I have explained in my previous video. So as I told you last time, there is one non-manageable switch, one is manageable switch. So in this video I am going to explain about the manageable switch, what are the different basic configuration you can do on a switch on this. So let's come. In this video I will let you know how we can configure the host name, banner and IP configuration with default gateway on a switch. So today I will show you this for configuration. In my next video I will let you know about the password configuration, line VTY configuration and enabling the port security. So for this purpose, just come to the packet is up. We will perform all the practicals in the switching. You can see here 2960, 2950. So many switch. So I'm going to choose 2960. I will show some topology design also in this. So I want to set up a LAN. I have two different buildings or two different floors that I want to connect. Okay. So connect PC to switch, we require the straight cable. So I'll change the straight cable here. Here also straight cable. On this side also I'm going to connect straight cable. Yeah. But there are mainly two types of device. One is a DTE device, one is a DCE device. So this machine, computers come under the DTE category and switch come under DCE category. So to connect two similar devices, we always need to use cross cable. To connect, we are going to use cross cable. You can see here, I have connected the cross cable. So by default, let's configure the IP also very fast. Configure the IP, any IP series for demonstration 10.0.0.1 because I'm working on the same network, so I will use the no required for the default gateway here 10.0.0.2. Same here, same IP series because switch cannot communicate in different IP series. So I'm going to configure the same IP series here. If you need to communicate in the different IP series, then as in my previous videos I have shown you so many routing practicals. So I have configured. Now you can see we don't do any configuration here till here. So means I'm using this switch as a non-manageable switch. So this is a 10.3. So I'm able to communicate. So try to ping 10.0.0.3. Yes, I am able to ping. By default, it automatically resolve the IP to MAC using the R protocol and communication begin. From here, ping 10.0.0.1. Yes, we are able to. So, if you don't do any configuration still, switch can, different machine can communicate with each other connected via switch having the same IP series. So now come here, go to the CLI mode of that. You can see there, this is the first console. Same whatever I explained in the basic router configuration. Switch also have three mode of the working. So first is the user mode. When you press enable, we enter into the privilege mode. You can run all the commands. Show running. It also have running configurations. So startup, because we don't save anything here. So let's come to the basic configurations. So first we need to go to the configure terminal command. We need to enter into the configuration mode of the switch. So very first task that I am going to do is the change the host name. By default, come back, show running. Like in the router, the default name is the router. Here is the default host name is the switch. So let's change this. Go to the configuration mode, configure terminal. So command to change the host name, command is host name. Then what name I want to give. So this particular switch belong to my marketing section or whatever you feel according to the your company organization and everything. Okay, now you can see here the host name has been changed. You can verify it in the show running also again. You can see here the host name has been changed. So first task done. With this command we can change the host name of the switch. Second task, to set up a banner. You should remember banner means exit from here. You can directly enter into the user mode. Before the user mode, I want to display some message to the person who is going to enter into the user mode. So for that purpose again go enable, enter into the configuration mode, enter. So the command to set up a banner is banner message of the day, MOTD. Okay. Then you can use any special character, star, percentage, hash, @ whatever you want to use, you can use. Then give message, this switch belongs to marketing department. If somebody try to log in, before doing any configuration she should get a message. Then whatever the special character you use at the beginning, this command ends with the same command. If in the beginning you use percentage, then end should use percentage. If you start with the @ any special character you start with, the same character end the command. That's done. To verify it, show running. There should be message. Are saying the banner has been set. How we can verify this banner? Just exit from the device mode also. Now before entering into the user mode, you will find this message. So in this way you can set up the banner. The second task also done. Second task also done. I will set up the banner on this particular switch also. Next is the most important thing in the switch. By default, switch does not require any IP configuration or default gateway configuration. Only the purpose to configure the IP on a switch is for the management purpose. Like if you want to remotely manage this particular switch, then naturally you can do the remote management with the help of telnet or SSH. So only for that purpose we need to configure the IP on a switch. So let's see that. how we can configure the IP on this switch, where, on which interface we can configure it, that need to understand. If I try to configure it on a interface, enable conti, I don't know which particular interface is connected to which particular machine. So what and where I should configure this IP, on which interface I should configure this IP. So I try to configure it in specific interface fast Ethernet 0/0. Hold on. What do I need to show? Oh, there is no 0/0, that is 0/1. Configure interface fast Ethernet 0/1. So there is, I think, not able to configure the IP here. IP DHCP, no static IP. You cannot configure static IP. Okay. So, in which interface I should configure the IP? One of the virtual interface VLAN show running. Rather than a physical interface, there should be one virtual interface. Interface VLAN 1, and no IP address has been configured and in the shutdown mode. So for the management purpose, because VLAN 1 is known as the management VLAN to manage the switch. So in my next upcoming videos, I will explain you about the VLAN also. So go to the configure terminal, interface VLAN 1. You can see here is the VLAN 1. Here I can configure the IP address 10.0.0. any IP. So I given 5 here with proper subnet mask 255.0.0. Check it. Running. IP has been configured, but still in the shutdown mode. So we need to run the command no shut. No shut. State change to up. So I'm very sorry to make you everything very clear. So now this particular VLAN has been enabled with a specific IP. So in my future videos I will show you that also, how we can do the remote management of IP and can do that. My next task is to configure default gateway. Next task is to configure the default gateway. What is the use of default gateway? When we need to configure, when we need to communicate in different IP series. By default again same thing come, no required, but still how we can configure the default gateway. So if we try to configure the same interface VLAN 1, look the option here IP, we don't have any option to configure the default gateway here. So how we can configure it? Exit, come back to configuration mode. Here we have to configure default gateway. So as you well know, what is the default gateway? Default gateway is the exit interface. If we are connected, suppose I'm connected to some of the router here that is connecting me to the outside world, in that case I require the default gateway. Suppose I don't want to go for the router configuration right now. If I connect it here, and suppose this particular IP, this entire network come under the same IP series. So if this particular interface IP is, suppose I have configured here of the 10 IP series, same IP series, suppose 10.0.0.10 slash 86. Naturally the default gateway will be the same IP of the router. Okay, then what I can say, 10.0.0.10. Done. Now default gateway has been shown running. Check it. Now the default gateway has been configured. Okay, so in my upcoming videos I will explain you about password configurations, line V2I configuration, and then in next video I will enable the port security also. So hope you enjoy this video.